We've got soul, and we're not talking about James Brown. Hello, everyone. Bront, CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends, and we are here on the main account. I want to thank Polarium for sponsoring this video, and we are going to be pulling souls for Raphael. Should be a lot of fun because honestly, I've needed to pull souls for a while and I've been waiting for this event to get Raphael. I've got a bunch of the middle boys ready to go. I could certainly buy a bunch more so I could easily blow through this. I am, however, going to get about 35,000 points and then probably look to finish some of this with dungeon divers and then pull any souls I might need to at the end of the event. And that's honestly how I recommend most of you guys to do it. So, quick breakdown of this event, and then we'll get pulling. So we have the Hothead Deck of Fate here. Now, apparently Polarium actually lied to us about being able to pin cards, so you can actually pin cards on here, and that's good, because pinning cards means you're guaranteed, if you're going for the full deck at least, to get 3 or 4 of the purple bonuses, and those are huge. And on top of that, you might get some other bonuses as well if you get kind of lucky. You're less likely to get the green or the blue ones just because of the way the pinning works, but that's fine. For most people, you'll take 4 of those. Now, as far as the points are concerned, again, here you've got 100 pizza points. So if you're going for April, you might need to pull a little bit in this event. That is unfortunate because these pizza points are going to be harder to get than Raphael fragments, and Raphael fragments are going to be plentiful but small, so you are going to need to pull a lot of these cards. If you're going for Raphael, expect to need to pull every single card because there's about a 33% chance of him being on the last card and at least a 60% chance of him being on the second to last card. It's just the way these things work with how many different Raphael things are there. I don't know the exact odds, that's me ballparking the number, but it is that high that you're going to need to pull everything but the last 1 or 2 cards, most likely, if not every single card, to get all of Raphael. And the pizza points, well, there's only, I think, like 5 or 6 of these pizza point cards in there. So if you need all 100 of these points, you're going to need to pull probably most of the deck. And if you need less than that, then that's fine. Now, I'm not going for April on my main because I have April already, so that's not a big problem for me. And meanwhile, as far as the other rewards here as well, the fact that you're going to get 3 or 4 from his here is nice. The feast is meh, but sacred shards, very nice. 500 gems, very nice. Mythical ore, very nice. Mythical books, very nice. 10 of the coins, nice. Mythical fragments, very nice. So there's some nice things you can get that you're going to get guaranteed a couple of these things. And if you get some of the other things, that's great. As far as the points are concerned, this is kind of rough. Now, these artifact points seem low to me, and then I saw somebody do a deck of fate where it was significantly cheaper to do. I think it was the one for Grakos Turndrake, and yeah, it was pretty rough. Now, the Immortal Soulstones are worth 70. You can see right behind me here. The Immortal Soulstones are 700, and the Eternal Soulstones are 3,500. I assumed they were going to be 80, 800, and 4,000 based off of what the Freya deck was, and apparently they are cranking up the difficulty. And of course, these points here are going to make dungeon diving difficult as well. So I broke down, I've got a spreadsheet. I'll try to link the spreadsheet down below if I remember it, where you can actually calculate how many points you are on average with this. It's not this spreadsheet that I'm going to pull up right here, but if I pull up my presentation sheet here, these were the points per energy, and I took a couple of highlights on here. So as you can see, I actually found it really amusing that stage 4 apparently is the best points per energy. Now, for the record, I am not recommending anyone farm stage 4 of a dungeon just for points. It does happen to be the best as far as points per energy is concerned, which is kind of weird and actually makes me want to double check the math on that, but I believe I've double checked that math already. And to be fair, stage 4 dumps the 1 and the 2 stars, but doesn't increase the energy that much. So you're getting 3 and 4 star gear, and that may be why that is better than it everywhere else it could be. And honestly, most people should not be farming that low because you're getting 3 star and maybe 4 star gear and not 1 and 2 star gear. And that's about the highlight of that dungeon. So not particularly good. Stage 16 is particularly efficient, but I brought that in there just to show you that stage 20 is probably where you should be farming if you're farming for a points per energy perspective. Stage 20 is going to get you 5 and 6 star only gear, and that's going to be very effective for you in getting some usable gear while also still getting a bunch of points per energy. Stage 24 is fairly efficient, not as efficient as 20, but still fairly efficient. I put stage 25 in there just to show you how inefficient that stage is for things like dungeon divers and other events. 25 really is significantly less efficient than 24. You just have a better chance of getting the top end legendaries and, top end legendaries and 6 star gear from 25 of the normal dungeons. Now, pushing up to like hard 2 and everything for the hard is always going to be better than the previous stage, as you can kind of see there, but it kind of falls off after hard 6. So if you're farming hard 6 or hard 10, there is almost no difference between what you're getting for hard 2 and what you're getting for hard 10. In fact, let me double check those numbers quickly because that seems a little off. Yes, indeed, it was a little bit off. It was 842, not 824. So yeah, so you're getting an extra basically 0.005 points per energy on average per stage you are going up in the hard dungeons, which honestly makes sense because it's effectively a 0.5% chance of getting mythical as opposed to rare. So it's a pretty significant point flip, but it's only a, 0.5% chance for that to happen. So that does mean that hard 10 is one of the more efficient places to farm instead of stage 24, which is actually pretty impressive. And that makes sense. And I think that's actually a good thing from Polarium's perspective to make sure that the hard dungeons are worth farming. It actually means hard 9 is probably about the same as far as for 24 is concerned. So keep that in mind if you're farming dungeons. I know right now it is a spider dungeon. I'm farming spider 20 on both of my accounts. Actually, I farm spider 20 on my main because I can do it in 2 turns and I can get champion training done with it as well with 3 different champions, and it works particularly well. And on my alt, or on the free to play, I should say, I am farming stage 20 because I can do that fairly quickly. And I found that I'm not liking the non-pinpoint and non-other special accessories that often, even on that account. So the better accessories from stage 24, 25 don't mean as much to me as being significantly energy efficient on my free-to-play account. So there you have it. That's where to farm efficiently. Let's get to pulling these soul stones, which is probably why you tuned in here. I've got 142 mortal soul stones and 40 immortal stones. I'm going to pull all 40 of the immortal and all 100, not all 100, but 100 of the mortal soul stones, and we'll see what we get. I have my wish list here. The rares are just kind of random rares that I might want some stuff on. The epics are champions that I plan on using and I could use better souls on, and the legendary as well. Lamasu, I don't have a great soul on her. I don't have a good soul on my Urost, and I could use a better one on my Shayek. Honestly, it was kind of tough with the legendaries. Once they get past a 3-star soul, I usually like to click off of them and do something else. Although with the immortals, the chance of getting a 4 or 5 or 6-star soul is much higher. Honestly, the big one I'm looking for is I really would like a soul for my Empress, and I would prefer a bigger soul than the 1-star I have for my Ashnar. So those are probably my 2 biggest wants. And, so pulling 100 mortals and 400 immortals is going to get me 35,000 points. And then I will farm the rest with dungeon divers. And at the end of the soul event, I will go double check, make sure I have and pull a few more mortal soul stones or maybe an immortal or 2 and get the rest of the event done. And that's pretty much how I would recommend most of you guys doing it. And I realize that's going to be less climactic because I will not actually necessarily get Raphael on this particular account, but it is what it is. It's the smart play. As far as my free to play is concerned, I don't have to do this event at all because I went for some extra souls, or extra points, I should say, from the other event that happened this weekend. And I'm glad I did because I may end up skipping this event because I don't have enough souls to get Raphael without a ton of farming. So we will certainly see where farming is on that account. And then if I can get Raphael, then maybe I will push to get Raphael. And if I have to sell a bunch of good-ish souls or champions I don't have on that account, then maybe that's what I'll do on that account. But that video probably will come later this week if I end up going for that on that account. Meanwhile, let's get pulling here. Now, I usually like to use Mountain Dew because Mountain Dew soothes the soul, the wonderful mountain climate. It is still a Pepsi product. Pepsi, not a sponsor, but you know what? You could be. Think about it. It would be absolutely amazing. So, let me know down below who your most important souls are. Which souls are you looking for? And if you think Mountain Dew / PepsiCo should be sponsoring me, I really do appreciate it. You guys are absolutely amazing. And, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I do appreciate all the support from you guys. We are closing in on 5,000 subscribers, which is something I didn't think I was going to be close to at the end of this year. So you guys have been absolutely amazing. Appreciate you. Let's get pulling. We've got 10 of these. I'll probably have to go and check out because it's kind of, I count badly. So let's get pulling. I should have taken a swig. That's why we're getting crap. Ooh, that's a mythical. That is a 3-star Mezamel. I don't have a Mezamel. If I don't have a soul for her, if I already have a better one, then I can sell that for points. So that's always good. Little souls are never particularly exciting. The big souls are the highlight of this video. So, ooh, 4-star Crocat. Unfortunately, I've got a 5-star for him already. Ooh, another legendary Prisma. I don't have a Prisma, but interesting champion. So not a bad one to have a 1-star tucked away for. Not a bad pull. Unfortunately, I don't need that Crocat, but that's one I can sell. So that's actually extra points for something else. So that's kind of cool. Dracia, not a bad champion. Mythical, 1-star Galathier. I've got a better Galathier sitting around, I'm pretty sure. And I don't have a Galathier, so that's unfortunate too. Brask, good champion. If that's an upgrade, I will double check. I believe this is the 4th pull. Maybe it's the 5th pull. I'll double check. Dur the Hungerer, I did a video with him recently. 1-star Toshiro. I love Toshiro, but I have a 3-star, I think, on my Toshiro. I really need a 4-star or better. I would like to get I would love a 6-star Toshiro, but those are just so hard to get. Oop, legendary. Altan, 2-star. Altan needs a buff. I have actually pulled 2 Altans and fed them to my Chronum because Chronum is a much better champion. Maybe not the best idea, but I don't need any more faction guardians for that faction, so that was not a problem. True Shield Knot, got a 3-star for him. That might be an improvement. We'll find out. With the rares, it's originally kind of not hard to get a 5-star if you pull that. Ooh, Tyrant. I don't have a Tyrant, but Tyrant is a good champion. I don't know if I'd use him on this account, but that's good. 4-star Catacomb Counselor. I actually kept one of them recently that I pulled for something else because he gives you the ally attack. It's not a great ally attack, but I might use him for some Centrano stuff. So that is not too bad. Where are we at? So we have 4 more pulls. We can grab some of this stuff as well. One of the advantages of pulling this stuff is you do get a bunch more of these soul stones, so that's going to give you a couple more of the immortals as well, because effectively every 50 of these guys, you are going to get 1 extra immortal soul stone that you can then pull. And then, of course, with these guys, every 10 of these, you get a chance to get some of the big coins as well, so that can be very helpful for affording more soul stones or affording more souls from the soul merchant, which is always a good thing to be doing as well. Ooh, 3-star Ramantu. That's probably worth picking up. Maybe. Well, we'll figure that out. Anyway, got 40 of these bad boys left to pull, and then we're going to pull 40 of the big boys. So let's get pulling. Oop, legendary. That is a 1-star Lamasu. That doesn't help very much. And you can see we're only getting 700 pizza points for these 10 pulls, which is not a lot when you need 40,000 points. So that's why the medium soul stones are much, much better for getting these. And that's why, buying those medium soul stones is not bad. 1-star Shayak. I've got a 1-star. I got a 2-star, I believe, with Shayak. I'd like at least a 3-star with him. 20 more left. Just not a lot from the regular soul stones, unfortunately. We did get some legendaries and mythicals at least, but nothing super. There's a mythical. Ooh, 5-star Geralt. That might be an upgrade for my Geralt. I'll have to double check that. And was that? Nope, I got one more. Let's get something cool. Let's get something cool. I mean, a 5-star Geralt's not bad. Geralt is not good, but... And Geralt's been buffed already, too. That's how not good Geralt is. Geralt has been buffed, and Geralt still is not good. It's very unfortunate. Still usable for a lot of players. Like, if I got a Geralt on my free-to-play, I would be happy, other than the fact that I got maybe one of the worst mythicals in the game. So... you know, but it's Geralt still does stuff, so not too bad. All right, let's go double check my soul collection, trim that, and then we will pull 40 of these mortals. Ooh, 5-star Geralt versus a 3-star. That may help Geralt a little bit, because 5-star gives you a bunch of really good stuff. She can use the accuracy in one of her forms as well. All right, so we have made plenty more room, and I have 40 immortal soul stones to pull. So let us get pulling. I've actually earned quite a bit of my little points back here as well. That's actually kind of nice because I spent 10k points to get myself an extra 10 of these soul stones to be able to pull for this. So having the 15k points there is nice, gives me plenty. I've got plenty to be able to buy my way to Raphael if I fall short in Dungeon Divers. But might as well do some Dungeon Divers, get some points in Spider, for example. There's a Spider tournament going on. And, you know, see what, if I don't have to pull as many of these shards off of a 2x event. So, all right, these are the big boy souls. We're looking for big boy souls here. Let's get some cool stuff. Let's go. It's thinking. Lots of 6-star mythicals, right? RS, useful for some stuff. Isbeel, I actually just upgraded my Isbeel soul recently. Another Tyrant. Probably don't need to keep 2 Tyrant 3-stars. Ooh, Sabbath upgrade as well. That's good. I just, she didn't have a soul, and I upgraded her to a 2-star soul recently while I was cleaning things out, so that's kind of cool. There is 3-star Siffy. I already got a 6-star Siffy. Ooh, 6-star Royal Huntsman. I don't know if I would use that one, but I never will throw away a 6-star soul if I can avoid it. Unless it's a really bad champion. Royal Huntsman's not total trash, I guess. 3-star Gurgo, that's actually kind of exciting if I ever got myself a Gurgo. 4-star Geomancer and 4-star Husk, not horrible. Galcut, not bad. This is actually a pretty solid pull of useful champions, even if I'm not using a lot of them. Oop, legendary. 3-star Versulf, not particularly exciting. 4-star Gorgorab, 4-star Bellower, 4-star Mosmaid, 4-star Lady Annabelle, not too bad. 3-star Kymar. Ooh, I've got like lots of Kymars. I can do that. More Tyrants. What is this, like 3x Tyrant? This is funny. Osgrin's kind of fun too. I wouldn't mind having an Osgrin, so I don't have one yet. So all right. Got this one. I don't remember if we have one more beyond this or not, but let's get something cool. There's a mythical. Ooh, 3-star Commodus. I don't know if I have a Commodus. 6-star Cornelia. YST would be happy. Legendary. That is a Vassal of the Seal. Ooh, 4-star Gwendolyn. That's great. I only have 1 star on my Gwendolyn, so that's actually an improvement. Yeah, actually, that is not too horrible right now. In fact, we're going to go take a look at the awakenings we got here. I could upgrade a Kymar, or I could add to a new Kymar. Let's add to a new Kymar. Let's add to the Speed Kymar. I use him a lot. Now, to be fair, I don't know if I should have done that or not, because the Speed Kymar often needs to die regularly, so I've just made him significantly tankier, but, you know, it never hurts. Ooh, 3-star Raglan. That's a huge improvement on my Raglan. Not going to complain there on that. That's going to give her some extra healing because it gives her some extra attack as well. 4-star Gwendolyn's nice because I actually have Gwendolyn built for some okay damage. I think she's a 9-piece feral as well. But yeah, that's going to be very helpful. Versulf, not so much. I don't use Versulf anywhere, unfortunately. Versulf just goes to show you how much better the later fusions are compared to the earlier fusions. Versulf was an okay-ish fusion at the time, and I say okay-ish, he wasn't really that great at the time, but he was usable for some people, and nowadays he would be an absolute trash easy skip for absolutely everybody. So it's where the game has gone. And when I say fusion, we're talking 2020 or 2021. That was right around when I started. I think Versulf is either the Versulf or the Herndig fusion is right when I started. In fact, I think it was the Herndig fusions when I started and Versulf happened afterwards. So that's not too bad. 4-star on Hugh. That's not a 6-star, so it's not going to throw off any tunes. And Nice to get a Geomancer with a big blessing. That is my second Morag getting a blessing as well. So we got some cool stuff here. I'm not going to go through all of it with you guys. I am going to go pull the deck, though, because that's something I think you guys would actually like to see. All right, so I am out of the way of the deck. We have the entire deck open here. Honestly, I don't think it really matters how you pull this stuff because it's probably randomly generating the cards when you pull them. But, we like to kind of bounce around a little bit because it always gives us the illusion of something helpful. Ooh, 2 greens in a row. Can I get a third green? No. So we'll pin that. Can I get 3 blue in a row? No, there's the other green. I did get 3 blue in a row. That's nice. 15. That is actually a nice prize. I'm not going to complain about getting 15 of those bad boys. That might get me that soul I was talking about maybe buying. So that's good. Pinning another blue. We are avoiding the purples right now. But okay, now I just say that, and here's a purple. So now we can pin some of these purples. There's some pizza points. And as you can see, that's the first pizza points we've hit. So if you're looking for pizza points, it is going to be rough to get pizza points in this because there's not a lot of places for you to get them. As I said, I think there's only like 6 cards that you can get them from, maybe 7. And out of 40, that's not a lot. There we go. That is the purple. The more purples we knock out early, the better. 10 of those bad boys. That is not too bad as well. Ooh, we got another blue one. That's great. Void as well. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. My cats are growling at each other over there. You guys behave. They're behaving. They're just angry. All right. That is another purple. That's great. Ooh, 3 purples in a row. It's always nice to get 3 in a row. Mythical Tome. Yes, I need more Mythical Tomes on this account. I have been struggling to get these things. I need to book my Ashnar, and I need to book my Lazarius. So that is helpful. Get some more blue. We can pin that here. We do have a couple of purples left. We've got 5 cards left. That is a Primal Shard. That is nice. Love to see a Primal Shard. That is a second purple. Can we get the last purple here? No, we cannot. All right, so I've got at least 1 more purple hiding in here and then some other stuff as well. I am not sure where I'm at with the fragments or the pizza points. Let's see if pizza points, we are at 40, 50, 70, 80, 100. Okay, I actually managed to get all of the pizza points, not that I really cared on this particular account, which means I probably do not have all of Raphael. And like I said, you're going to have to pull for all of one or the other. See, I've got 87 fragments and I pulled all but 5 of the cards. So we're going to have to finish this out, which is expected, not a big deal. So I will be finishing that out. I will be running some dungeon divers. And hey, I got some decent soul upgrades. Nothing like top tier, but it's nice to get some of that soul upgrades, especially because that helps when you're doing things like Centrinos and stuff like that too. So you guys have a wonderful day. Hopefully you get some great stuff when you're pulling some souls, and hopefully you can get yourself a Raphael. Let me know what you think of this event down below as well. Appreciate you guys. I love hearing from you guys. Again, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. You're absolutely amazing. And until the next video, I am Bront CatHerder.